gals, guys, everyone.
Everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of Let
Let
We
we
Go
go
There.
there.
And today we're excited to go there with you,
About
being
being
openly
openly gay.
gay.
I was gonna say queer because it was
Queer.
queer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, queer. All the queer
All the
things.
queer things. But yes, openly gay. As both of our shirts say, because we are all human.
Yeah. And I want to start by saying, just a premise. Why would I choose to live a life where I'm openly queer when it becomes so much more difficult for me?
And dangerous.
Yeah, and the reason is I can't live my life any other way. This is who I am. If you're queer, you know this is who you are. If you are an ally, you understand this is how people are. This is the essence of their being, and we all come in different shapes and sizes, but we also come in different, like other unique ways. We're built up all differently.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing is, it's like you can't pick and choose if you are wanting to live an authentic life and you're healing and everything like that. A lot of it comes down to truth and honesty. And if you can't live your truth and if you have to suppress such a large part of your life, not to say it's everything, but that is a big thing of who you are, like who you get
Mm-hmm.
to love. And, again, as we said, openly, because this doesn't mean that other people are not gay or not queer. It's just for all the myriad of reasons of why it's so hard, they are choosing
Mm-hmm.
to not be able to fully express themselves and be themselves. And in turn, you know, kind of shutting down a big part of who they are.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, my story, it started in baby steps. Like, not everyone could just go from 0 to 100 real quick. Um, I obviously had a lot of denial when in my teen years when my parents would ask me. A lot of gaslighting was their way just because I didn't feel safe yet. And I just knew in my heart that I needed to make sure that all the parameters of safety I had on my own before I was able to tell them. And then for a while I dated a myriad of let me not say a myriad, I just dated a couple guys. And I was like, maybe I'll just settle along with a guy and I wouldn't have to ever tell them that I like women too. And then that didn't work out. And then I moved to Tobago. And I was like, you know what? I've always preferred women, and I wanna take dating in that angle more if I was to take it on at all. Unless I just happened to fall for somebody, but I wasn't putting too much of a I like a focus on which gender,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
How old were you, would you say, when you kind of came to that
I was
decision,
about
conclusion?
when I decided more woman.
Yeah.
Funny enough, my last boyfriend before we got together, I told him I was like, I'm done with men. I'm only dating a woman at this point, and he was just very understanding and we clicked a lot, so it just kind of happened naturally that we got together. But I know that was definitely one of the defining points. And then when that didn't work out, when I had I could have envisioned yeah, I could see the natural path of where things would go. And when that all fell to shambles, I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I think that might have been it. That might be the last one.
So, like mid 20s, early 20s.
Um, mid 20s.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, it's so funny because my last boyfriend, my last official boyfriend, also just was like, I think you're gay. And literally before I ever had a clue, by the way.
Mm.
And, to say I was a little bit late to the party, we're always just on time when we're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be. I really don't feel I was suppressing, though there are some things now that I reflect back on that I'm like, I mean, maybe, because I definitely had my first girl crush when I was 14. Katie Holmes, if
Uh-huh.
you know Dawson's Creek,
She cute.
yeah. So, but I mean, it's weird because, like, again, I say it now that it was a crush. Then it was just like I obviously admired her and all this kind of stuff. And my last boyfriend, I would have been at the end of my 20s. So
Mhm.
I would have been 28 when we broke up, and I wouldn't kiss my first girl until I was 29. So, I mean,
Wow.
yeah, it's interesting living this way where it's not necessarily like once I knew,
Mhm.
I wouldn't say there was, a lot of that kind of denial and everything else. There was a lot of questioning.
Mhm.
And for me, another thing that's interesting
But
is,
it was like, sorry, it was
yeah,
like a lot of internal question and like a lot of like outside beliefs or like culture or anything didn't really play much of a role.
well, it was a lot of things. It
Mhm.
was a questioning of, is this like a one off, right?
Right.
Because it's like, of course, like I kissed my first girl and then she became my girlfriend for like the next 4 years. So it's not like I was like, oh, okay, and it was like whatever. It was one of those things. And then the other part of that, where you're like, who would choose this? Like if
Mhm.
you didn't want to. I mean, I had relationships with boys, men, whatever you want to call them. And not to say obviously any of them were the right ones, or there wasn't some level of toxicity, but I had never dated a narcissist until I dated my first female.
Yeah.
So until my first
Mhm.
girlfriend did I not even come into contact in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, with a narcissist. So that's the other interesting thing, is like for me to be with a woman, that woman be a narcissist, and me still to go back and be like, yeah, I think I'm gonna try that again. And
Yeah, no, and like she has had some like amazing boyfriends. Like what I've heard this stuff that like they've done for you and
they
that sort of
were,
thing. Like
yeah, at the time, I'm like really looking at it as a lot of them really helped me grow. A lot of them kept me safe. That's the other thing, is like I'm always so concerned with safety, and a
mhm.
lot of times it's like we feel unsafe around men. So I did definitely choose guys, and I think whether subconsciously, consciously, I do feel like I chose kind of safer men that I would have
Right.
felt safer around, that we
Mhm.
could establish a friendship, that would not, disrespect me, in the typical ways that men do, with
Mhm.
like infidelity, with being abusive in any kind of way. So I didn't
So you thought
attract.
you were safe with women? Like you just thought
Yeah,
all women were
I
kind
just,
of safe, right?
yeah,
Newsflash: if you're queer and you're a woman,
no, because
it
here's the
don't work
thing.
that way.
Women, we are smarter. We are naturally smarter.
Mhm.
So it's like we could be more manipulative. Like that is why it is not shocking. Like some people find it shocking when women are narcissists. No, it actually makes a lot of sense, because you have to have not a high EQ. Your EQ is like, but your IQ is up there. Like you are, able to manipulate. So
Mhm.
therefore, that did happen to me twice.
Right.
But I still was like, yep, this is it. And let me tell you, earmuffs, if there's kids around, there shouldn't be. But what really made me jump from the like, because I don't know when you got into kind of labeling, I'm still kind of like whatever with the label, right? But it's like at first I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm bi. That
Right.
makes sense. Bi feels like it makes
Mhm.
sense. And then it kind of like progressed, and then it was more like maybe I'm pan, because I am very much like
Oh
for the
yeah,
person, the
yeah, yeah,
soul,
yeah. Yes, I've
everything like that.
identified as pan
Yeah,
at
so
one
I've
point.
identified as pan. And then I think it just got to the point where I was like, I never want to give a blowjob again in my
No
life. Like,
more.
I never
No
want a dick in my
mas.
mouth.
Yeah.
No mas. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm a lesbian. I mean, like,
Yeah,
that
and
kind of
like
feels right.
and like those are like subtle signs. I feel like if you are trying to come out of your shell and like learn about your sexuality and you're stuck into the heteronormal role, that was definitely one for me. Like I've never swallowed. Like
Yeah.
like never. Like no guy could ever like make me. I'd just be like no. Like I tried a couple of times and I just like physically like visceral reaction just can't.
Yeah.
Can't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me.
Not not for we.
Not
Not
for
for
we.
we. Yeah. So,
Yeah. So there are so many
so many
challenges.
challenges. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I feel there are probably like the different challenges of when you realize and come out earlier in life versus when you don't realize and you come out
Mm-hmm.
later in
I
life.
think especially as a woman too, sometimes people ask you like, are you sure? Is this a phase? Which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what you were wondering about yourself. But like your first relationship was 4 years. Like that's a
Yeah,
long time.
it's a long time to be thinking if you're in a phase or not. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was not like a college phase. That's like a
No, that's what I
yeah.
mean. Like I skipped the whole like usually people like kiss like girls kissing girls, like even straight girls, which let me plot twist here. I don't think any girl is actually 100% straight. That's just my thing, which brings us to like kind of the complications. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
complications I would say, but like what the challenges. The
Yeah.
challenges of living as a queer person is because sometimes there is that lack of boundary and respect, and it kind of the lines get blurred when you're in a heterosexual relationship, male to female, and you know, like, you, not that you can't have, not that your man can't have girlfriends and you can't have guy
Right.
friends, but it, I feel, is a lot less of that, right?
Uh-huh.
And so when it's a new friend that you just happen to meet and then you don't know like their intentions, or if they have ulterior motives, or they're just like pretending to be your friend but they're
Right.
really trying to like kind of destroy relationships or
Uh-huh.
like insert themselves, I feel that happens a lot.
So it's like harder to decipher if people coming into your life are genuine friends or if like they secretly like you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's definitely something that you get by
Mhm.
being gay. Like it's just an added fun little bonus. um, and I feel like there was something else off of that that we were
I
chatting
know
about too.
specifically when you are in a queer relationship, like one of the challenges, especially for us running a business together, is like when we were selling the ACs, the buyer was
Mm,
literally like, oh, so like who's the one in
hmm.
charge? So we're both in
Yeah,
charge. And one of the things that you also notice, like there is the challenge of the world just like having one person who must be dominant and the other person who must be, like the soft,
yeah,
quiet
yep,
one.
yep.
And
Plot twist: there's equality in
yeah,
this type of
yeah,
relationship.
and like most people who live within the normal rules of society, they just can't comprehend that, and like that's actually really sad.
It is really sad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like don't try to enforce your beliefs and your way of thinking on us. It's not
yeah.
gonna work.
Yeah. Oh, I remembered what I was gonna say. Just like a funny little other story of
Mm-hmm.
what just sometimes happens, in the gay community. And we're not saying like this is obviously like a stereotype, but it
Right.
it happened to me. So where it's like how I met one of my ex girlfriends who I was also with for 4 years is like I met her through someone else that at one point I was interested, and then she was interested in her, but then my ex was interested in me. So it's this whole crazy, like, triangle,
Yeah.
like affair, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm just like, I don't, it's so much drama. And I feel like that is, a big part of how the community can be. It's like 6 degrees of separation of who's been with who. And there's always this
Yeah.
trail of like overlap and everything, which I always found kind of like, I don't know, it just like bothered me in certain ways, but
Yeah, because the queer community is already so small,
yeah.
right? So it's like it's a smaller picking pool anyway.
Maybe that's why I went like to different continents and everything like that. That might have been it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we found each
And then we
other.
found each other. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's challenging. It's difficult to navigate, but
But ready for the best parts?
it's worth
It's so worth it.
it.
And for one thing, is like I've always been, and I don't like to say hopeless because it's negative, a hopeful romantic. I just like never gave up hope. Was always, I myself am into long relationships and just want to be with one person, which that is tough for. I feel like the gay community too. Like, you know,
I guess I don't know.
be no, I'm just saying in general where you get more of poly and everything, which great, but
Hmm.
like someone who is just so strictly monogamous, like the most monogamous to ever monogamize,
Hmm.
that's also tough when you're
Yeah,
ingrained into the
I
culture.
I'm like a little nerd sometimes. So what we're gonna do on our website, I'm gonna place a link to queer people everywhere. So it would ask you like where you're from in the world and like what do you like identify as, and like I really want to know, like, commitment levels
Mm.
of people.
Yeah, what people are looking for, because you're looking for different things too at different
Yeah.
times of your life. And I want to say this was with no judgment. I'm also
Uh-huh.
like someone who's in my 40s too, and like
Yeah.
very happy to be where I am. Not to say I didn't have my little fun kind of, wild and free times, but just like in general, I feel when it comes to being in the gay community, that's a lot of it.
Mhm.
But again, I want to go back to the positive. The one thing that I always felt in my heart, and which is why I never did get married, was because it was one criteria, and it was I want to marry my best friend. And so I found her. And it's like, yeah, not to say men and women can't be best friends, but it is so much more common and to go deeper
Mhm.
where you have, your best friend being another woman. And if you're a guy, your best friend being
Yeah.
another guy. What did you say about men?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so basically, and Christiana reminded me about this particular truth that men tend to be attracted to women, but they don't really tend to like them. Yeah, like they tend to like their
Their
homies. Like,
homies.
they want to
Their
spend
boys are
most
their
of
best
their
friends.
time. Yeah, most of their time,
Yeah.
like your girlfriend got your back, so let me go and shoot some hoops with the boys.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's weird. I like you and I'm attracted to you.
Yeah, like I like you, I love you. Like this is the whole thing. It's like
Yeah, I love
you
you so
my
much.
bestie, and like, I like giving you kisses too. So it's like it's the best of all the worlds. Like I said, I just knew always, like whatever it was, I wanna be and marry and be forever with my best friend. Um so yeah,
Yeah, we did that.
we did that
And
thing.
that's what you can accomplish by being openly gay too in your time when you're ready, if that's what you want. I just wanted something so deep and real with
Hmm.
someone, and yeah, I found it.
Yeah, and so like just a quick little coming out, I guess, right? So for me, like I said, I was older already. And so I did kind of struggle to come out to my mom, and I did it in the form of an email because I really didn't know how else to kind of express myself in that. And again, I had been with my ex at that point for it was getting to like the 1 year mark. So it was me again testing, like, why should I tell my mom something if it's not, and I don't
Mhm.
know what it is. And at that
Mhm.
point, it's like, well, I know what it is, whether I'm with this person or not.
Yeah.
I'm obviously, again, whether I was bi at that point or what I identified as, I knew I was queer. I
Mhm.
knew, I mean, I feel like queer is like the perfect word because I just feel like it means really different and weird and odd.
Mhm.
And again, we had a whole episode on misfits. I think it was number 3,
Yeah.
and it's like I forever have been that anyway. I just maybe didn't know sexually that that's what that was, and so yeah, like I that's how I chose to, and then came out to my sister actually while I was getting matching tattoos with my mom. So
Mhm.
that's a cute little thing, and then I never really did like a coming out. Coming out, it was just and it's this is so individualized, right? It's like it is a beautiful thing to be able to have that, but sometimes you're just like, well, this is who I am. When
Mhm.
I talk to people, I'm never going to deny who I am,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell people as it goes, but it doesn't need to necessarily be like a coming out. So I feel that is something that is like I'm interested to hear what people what they have experienced, what they think is important,
Yeah.
because I mean, I technically then I guess on social media would have just come out
Mhm.
like last year, right?
Yeah.
Even though I've been open like with friends and with
And
people.
that's what matters
Exactly,
the
yeah.
most.
So
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, tell me about yours.
Well, I met this beautiful, precious, talented, funny girl. And
Yeah, me?
in the span of less than 2 weeks, we decided that this was
For
serious and we
realsies.
were committed, even though she was leaving the country. And then we made plans for me to go over to see her, and I realized how important it was for her as well to like not be with someone who was like hiding in any way. and I was like, yeah, I found my person. It's time. I live on my own. I have all the safety that I could ever want um to do this. So I called a family meeting and I told them,
We're
and
so proud of you.
yeah, it was really special. I mean, it wasn't like in the movies where you tell them and they all like hug you and accept you straight away, but like having my brother like say that he does, it meant like the world to me. It means the world to me. And everyone else is like accepting in their own way,
Mhm.
and I love that because my relationship with everyone has been so much more real because of it.
You
And
get to go deeper once you get to reveal all of who you are and not hide that. People get to love you for all of who you are, which obviously they do. And it's the same thing. It wasn't like, in the movies for me either.
mm-hmm.
There's still definitely some, I don't know if it's not acceptance, because I think we are accepted.
Oh yeah.
It's just maybe something, boomer gen wise, culturally wise, it's
Yeah.
hard to, fully wrap around. And I know, especially like with our moms, it's like they would worry more about us and our safety and our being accepted by
Mm-hmm.
society. But you just really can't live your life trying to just be accepted when you're not accepting of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the same thing. It's like trying to find love when you haven't fully loved yourself. Like when you haven't fully loved and accepted yourself, you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
attract the right partners, which again is why I think, okay, that's probably why those narcissists snuck in there. I
Yeah.
wasn't fully accepting something in myself, and it could be my queerness, and so it's like once I accepted every single part of myself, it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, frankly.
That's damn gay.
Yeah. Super gay.
Yeah. So what are our takeaways? I feel like one of them, like we did already discuss in terms of like being queer comes with its own way of living that other people just can't wrap their heads around. So it's like navigating two worlds at the same time.
Like they're feeling uncomfortable, but it has nothing to do with us and everything to do with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. So maybe somebody is wrestling with their own sexuality and they see both of us holding hands on the beach and
Just
shouting
freely, yeah. Oh.
male and female as
Yeah.
we walk.
Mm.
Like, so you probably need to like check yourself.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's like, who are you surrounded by? Male and male and male and male. You and
Yeah,
all
all the
your
male.
men's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that's definitely one takeaway as you begin to live openly queer.
Mhm.
Anything else is on your mind as a takeaway?
No, I mean, again, like people unfortunately will have that, but I feel, at least when we're out, like we're just us and we're
Yeah.
just like loving on each other, and
It's
I
not
see it's
performative.
not
It's
performative.
just us.
Yeah, and it's like I love it. Remember when that woman came up to us on the beach? It was so sweet. She literally stopped us like mid our walk and was like, "I just need to tell you, like, we I see you all the time, and it's like you guys, the way you look at each other is so
Hmm.
romantic, and it's so." And I was just like, "Oh, like So there's always gonna be those haters and the people that are uncomfortable, but it's like people are witnessing love. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if that bothers you for whatever reason, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
So I feel like overall it has been positive.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of the things, against us. Like if obviously people are racist and they're homophobic and
Yeah.
everything else, we do have a lot of things
And we
that
live in a
we and
patriarchal world, and we're
exactly,
two women,
and
and
we're
people
two
are gonna
women.
try to take advantage of us at every corner that we turn.
Yeah. And I think that was the other thing too, is like, when it is women, there's always the man that feels like he can interject, right? So it's like, whether it be like suggesting like a threesome, or whether it's like, again, like thinking like there's a
They
component
need to
missing. There's
insert
something,
themselves in
yeah, it's
some
like
way.
it's like no, we don't, we're good. We're
We're
good over
good.
here. Yeah.
There's detachables if we need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that positive note at the end
Mhm.
of everything, because that's the whole point of
Yes.
being yourself. You want to have have a rich experience of your life, the richest experience you have, and riches is not confined to the money in your bank account. Is defined by the quality of your life, how you spend your time, what you consume,
Mhm.
the rest that you get on a daily, your health. Like, these are the riches of life. So
And the fact that gay equals happy, the definition of gay is
yeah,
happy. And you know, there are a lot of people that are unhappy in this world, right? So there's, I am not going to try to help those anymore.
yeah,
It's one of those where it's like, once you find your happiness, you're going to be happy for others. Like, there's a little chicken that I'm staring at because it's the cutest thing ever. That makes me happy. Definitely a gay chicken. But yeah, so I really feel like the people that are truly happy with themselves, are happy for us, are happy to see
yeah,
us, are happy to be around us, and so I don't feel um, any of that negativity.
yeah.
Yeah,
So thanks for going there with us
yeah.
on being openly
Openly gay.
gay. If you have any questions, leave them
Hit us in
in
the
the
comments.
comments, and we'll see you, or you'll hear us next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.